Most people fail with strawberries not because they're hard to grow, but because they miss a few critical steps. Today, I'll walk you through 5 powerful, proven steps that turn strawberries into one of the most productive plants you can grow at home. No chemicals, no expensive systems, just a simple, repeatable method that keeps strawberries producing almost endlessly. Follow these steps in order, and you'll understand why some gardeners harvest bowls of strawberries for months, while others barely get a handful. Let's begin. 1. Choose the right strawberry type for endless harvests. The journey to endless strawberries begins long before you touch the soil. In fact, the most common mistake beginners make happens at the very first step: choosing the wrong type of strawberry plant. Even perfect soil, ideal sunlight, and flawless watering won't help if the plant's genetics aren't designed for continuous production. Not all strawberries behave the same way. There are 3 main types of strawberries, and each has a completely different fruiting pattern. June-bearing strawberries. These varieties are programmed to produce one massive harvest, usually in late spring or early summer. For a few short weeks, plants explode with fruit, and then they stop. The rest of the season, they focus on leaf growth and runner production, not berries. While June bearers are great for making jam or freezing large batches at once, they are the opposite of endless. Once their harvest ends, you'll wait an entire year for more fruit. Ever-bearing strawberries. Ever-bearing varieties are a major step up for home gardeners. Instead of one short harvest, they produce 2 to 3 distinct flushes of berries throughout the season. Typically, you'll see fruit in late spring, again in midsummer, and once more in early fall. While production may slow during extreme heat, these plants are built to keep flowering and fruiting whenever conditions allow. Day-neutral strawberries. Day-neutral strawberries take productivity even further. These plants don't care about day length at all. As long as temperatures stay roughly between 35 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, they will continue producing flowers and fruit. This means steady harvests from spring through fall, and in mild climates or protected spaces, even longer. For truly endless strawberries, day-neutral varieties are the gold standard. If your goal is non-stop berries, June-bearing varieties simply won't deliver. Instead, focus on ever-bearing or day-neutral types designed for long seasons and continuous output. Some of the most reliable varieties for extended harvests include Albion, large, sweet berries with excellent disease resistance; Seascape, heavy producer with strong flavor and adaptability; San Andreas, consistent fruit size and high yields; Mar de Bois, exceptional aroma and gourmet flavor; EV2, dependable performance in containers and beds. These varieties are prized for their steady production, superior taste, and resilience. When you start with the right genetics, everything else becomes easier. Plants stay healthier, fruiting cycles last longer, and yields stay consistent. Endless strawberries don't start in the garden. They start with one smart decision at the plant nursery. 2. Give strawberries the perfect growing location. Strawberries may be small, but they are powered by sunlight. Light is not optional. It directly determines how many flowers form and how many berries develop. Without enough sun, even the best strawberry variety will struggle. For maximum fruit production, strawberries need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every day. More sun equals more energy, more flowers, and ultimately, more strawberries. Plants grown in shade may look green and healthy, but will produce very little fruit. The ideal strawberry growing location combines 3 essential elements. Full sun. Choose the brightest spot available. South-facing areas, open garden beds, patios, balconies, and rooftops are all excellent options. Avoid areas shaded by trees, fences, or buildings for most of the day. Good air circulation. Strawberries need airflow to stay healthy. Stagnant air encourages fungal diseases, especially during warm, humid weather. Spacing plants properly and choosing open locations reduces moisture buildup on leaves and flowers. Excellent drainage. Strawberries absolutely hate wet feet. Roots sitting in soggy soil quickly rot, leading to weak growth, disease, and plant death. If your garden soil is heavy or clay-based, raised beds or containers are not just helpful, they're essential. Raised beds improve drainage and warm up faster in spring, giving strawberries an early start. Containers offer even more control. One hidden advantage of container growing is temperature management. Containers heat up faster in spring, triggering earlier flowering and cool down faster in fall, extending fruit production later into the season. Strawberries adapt beautifully to many growing systems: in-ground garden beds, raised beds, hanging baskets, vertical towers, grow bags, and pots. No matter the method, drainage is non-negotiable. Every container should have drainage holes, and soil should never stay waterlogged. When strawberries are planted in the right location, roots grow strong, leaves stay healthy, and plants channel their energy into fruit, not survival. Healthy roots create strong plants. Strong plants produce flowers. Flowers become endless strawberries. 3. Build rich, living soil that feeds constantly. If sunlight is the fuel for strawberries, soil is the engine. And when it comes to endless harvests, ordinary dirt simply isn't enough. Strawberries are heavy feeders, but here's the catch. They respond best to slow, steady nutrition, not chemical spikes. The goal is to create rich, living soil that feeds your plants gently and continuously over time. The ideal strawberry soil has 3 defining qualities: loose and fluffy structure, slightly acidic, pH 5.5 to 6.5, high organic matter content. Loose soil allows delicate strawberry roots to spread easily and access oxygen. Compacted soil suffocates roots, traps water, and limits nutrient uptake. A fluffy texture also improves drainage, critical for preventing root rot and fungal disease. Strawberries prefer slightly acidic soil because that's where they absorb nutrients most efficiently. In this pH range, key elements like phosphorus, potassium, calcium, and magnesium remain available to the plant. Outside of it, nutrients can exist in the soil but remain locked up and unusable. Before planting, you want to charge your soil like a battery, giving it everything the plant will need for months of steady growth and fruiting. Start by mixing in high-quality compost or well-aged manure. Compost adds organic matter, improves structure, and introduces beneficial microbes that support nutrient cycling. Aged manure adds slow-release nitrogen without burning roots. This combination forms the foundation of living soil. Next, add worm castings. These are one of the most powerful natural soil amendments available. Worm castings improve water retention, increase microbial activity, and provide a perfectly balanced source of nutrients. They also contain natural growth stimulants that encourage stronger roots and more flowers. For flowering and fruit production, strawberries need phosphorus, but in a gentle, long-lasting form. That's where organic bone meal or rock phosphate comes in. These release nutrients slowly, supporting strong root development and consistent flowering without overwhelming the plant. Mix everything thoroughly into the top 8 to 12 inches of soil before planting. This creates a nutrient-rich root zone where strawberries can feed continuously without stress. One critical warning: avoid fresh manure and high-nitrogen fertilizers. Fresh manure is too hot and can burn roots, introduce pathogens, and cause excessive leafy growth. High-nitrogen fertilizers push plants to grow massive green leaves, but at the expense of flowers and fruit. When strawberries receive too much nitrogen, they look healthy but produce very few berries. Balanced soil encourages balance in the plant. Strong roots, steady leaf growth, and constant flower production all come from the same source: living soil. A helpful habit is adding a light top dressing of compost or worm castings every 4 to 6 weeks during the growing season. This keeps nutrients flowing without shocking the plants. Think of your soil as a slow-release energy bank. When it's fully charged from the start, strawberries don't struggle. They simply produce. And plants that never struggle are plants that fruit continuously. Rich soil doesn't just grow strawberries, it powers endless harvests. 4. Plant correctly, my white. Crown position is everything. This step looks simple, but it's one of the most common reasons strawberry harvests fail. Strawberries are extremely sensitive to planting depth, and even a small mistake here can stop production before it begins. Every strawberry plant has a crown, the thick central point where the roots meet the leaves. This crown is the heart of the plant. It must be placed exactly right. Plant it too deep, and the crown stays wet and rots. Plant it too shallow, and the roots dry out and struggle to establish. The crown must sit precisely at soil level, not buried, not exposed. When planting strawberries, take your time. This is not a step to rush. Start by digging a hole wide enough to spread the roots naturally. Strawberry roots should never be bent upward or twisted into a tight bundle. Instead, fan the roots downward and outward, allowing them to grow straight into the soil. Hold the plant so the crown sits at the surface, then gently fill in soil around the roots. Press the soil lightly, firm enough to support the plant, but not so hard that you compact the soil and squeeze out air. Once planted, water deeply. This settles the soil, removes air pockets, and ensures good root-to-soil contact. Proper watering at planting time dramatically improves establishment and reduces transplant shock. Spacing is just as important as depth. For containers, space plants 10 to 12 inches apart. In garden beds, give them 12 to 18 inches of space. This spacing allows sunlight to reach every plant, encourages air circulation, and prevents disease from spreading. It also gives each plant enough room to produce runners and fruit without competition. Crowded strawberries compete for nutrients and light, leading to smaller berries and reduced yields. Proper spacing lets each plant perform at its best. After planting, keep the soil evenly moist for the first couple of weeks while roots establish. Once the plants are settled, they become much more resilient and productive. Correct planting creates strong foundations. Strong foundations create healthy crowns. And healthy crowns are the secret to endless strawberries. 5. Master watering for constant fruit production. If soil is the engine and sunlight is the fuel, then water is the timing belt that keeps everything running smoothly. Strawberries absolutely depend on consistent moisture. And when watering goes wrong, even briefly, the fruit production slows or stops. The key principle is balance. Evenly moist soil, never bone dry, never waterlogged. Strawberries have shallow root systems, which means they dry out much faster than deep-rooted plants. A single hot afternoon without water can stress them enough to abort flowers or stop developing fruit. At the same time, roots sitting in soggy soil suffocate, rot, and invite disease. This is why inconsistent watering is one of the most common causes of poor strawberry harvests. When strawberries experience water stress, the effects are immediate and visible. Flower production drops. Developing berries stay small or misshapen. Flavor turns sour or bitter. Plants shift energy from fruiting to survival. During flowering and fruiting, strawberries need steady access to moisture every single day. The best practice is to water deeply but gently, allowing moisture to soak into the root zone without flooding it. Light surface watering encourages shallow roots, which makes plants even more sensitive to drying out. Deep watering trains roots to spread and anchor, improving long-term productivity. Always water at the base of the plant, not from above. Overhead watering wets the leaves and flowers, creating perfect conditions for fungal diseases like gray mold and powdery mildew. Wet foliage combined with warm temperatures can wipe out a harvest surprisingly fast. Early morning is the ideal time to water. This gives plants moisture when they need it most and allows any accidental splashes on leaves to dry quickly during the day. Evening watering keeps soil cold and wet overnight, increasing the risk of rot. One of the most powerful tools for perfect watering is mulch. A thick layer of organic mulch, such as clean straw, pine needles, shredded leaves, or fine wood chips, transforms strawberry growing conditions. Mulch locks moisture into the soil, prevents rapid evaporation on hot days, suppresses weeds that steal water and nutrients, keeps berries clean and off the soil, regulates soil temperature, protecting roots from heat and cold. Mulched plants need less frequent watering and stay evenly hydrated for much longer. This consistency is exactly what strawberries need to keep producing flowers and fruit without interruption. Aim for about 1 to 1.5 inches of water per week, more during heat waves or container growing. Containers dry out faster, so they often need daily watering in summer. A simple finger test works well. Push your finger 2 inches into the soil. If it feels dry at that depth, it's time to water. If it's still moist, wait. When strawberries are watered correctly, they don't struggle. They focus on fruit. Flowers keep forming, berries grow plump and sweet, and plants remain productive for months instead of weeks. Master watering, and you unlock one of the biggest secrets to constant, non-stop strawberry harvests.